morning, everyone. This is Tony from Her Homestead Skills, and today I have decided that I'm going to can up some peaches, and I've got some beautiful peaches from the Niagara region of Ontario, which is where peaches are very successfully grown. As a matter of fact, quite a number of people go out there to the U Pickett Farms. I wasn't able to get out there this year, but my little granddaughters were, and they have a riot. They do that every year. Okay, so the first thing I want to do to get these ready is that we have to peel them. And the easiest way to peel them is just to cut an X in the top of them, and we're going to submerge them in boiling water for a minute or so until you see that split, the cut that you made, starts to peel back a bit. Now, I didn't get a lot of them, but then again, we don't eat a lot of peaches. Probably I'm the only one, and when I can get Mark to eat a dessert, he does like dessert. He just always tells me he doesn't eat desserts, but if you put it in front of him, he'll eat it. But we're both trying to be a little more cautious with the weight issue. So, okay, so we're going to let that boil for a few minutes. And I've got some cold water in the sink, and you can certainly add some ice to that. I'm going to try it just with cold water for the time being and see where we go from there. Okay, at this point I'm going to take these out of the water, or out of the boiling water, and submerge them in my sink of cold water, and I'm going to continue this process. I've got all of these other ones cut. They've all got their little X marks the spot there, and I'll just do them as much as I can, one batch at a time. So meanwhile, let's put another 4 in here. Okay, and here I'm going to peel them back, peel the skins off. Hopefully they will come off. There you go. Yeah, very easily. Might need a little bit of help, but certainly the skins are peeling off. Now, I do intend to can my peaches, and I'm going to cut these into quarters, probably not halves. I think halves are a little bit on the large side personally, but probably quarters. And of course, if they start giving you trouble, you can always pull out your peeler. Well, I've decided that for me it's a lot easier to use the potato peeler, and I'm not going to boil the rest of them. They just seem to come out cleaner, less ragged edges. So we tried. Okay, I definitely prefer not to boil them. One of those lessons in do what works for you. Okay, I have a number of pots on the stove boiling. The front one would be to blanch the peaches. The small one right behind it is for my light syrup mixture, which is a sugar water mixture. And I've decided to go light, which is, I've decided to go with, now I put 8 cups of water in there. Perhaps I have too much, I'm not so sure, but I wanted to make sure I have adequate. And in that, I decided that I would add 2 1/3 cups of sugar. So that is considered light. Better not too sweet than too sweet. I'm not a fan of overly sweet, and that seemed to be enough to me. Now, the larger pot is just to have additional water available should I need to make more syrup, so that I don't have to wait for it to boil. So that is what that is all about there, okay? Okay, and my light sugar syrup has been mixed and it is dissolving nicely. And meanwhile, I've put my peaches in the sink in cold water with lemon juice. And the reason you want to put it with lemon juice is to prevent the peaches from darkening either before they're cooked or after they're cooked as well. So that should keep the peaches looking wonderful. So here I am at this point. I'm going to blanch them, so wait till it comes to boil and then let it cook for about a minute or so, not terribly long. We want to remove some of the air from the peach fibers, because the peaches do hold a lot of air, and hopefully that will prevent them from floating. And I have my lids in water. They're ready to go. And yeah, these peaches still need a few minutes. I'm just checking on them now. But yeah, I have my lids in water, and I'm not going to use vinegar this time to clean the edges because it is a sugar mixture and basically just water, but I will wipe off the edges with a nice clean towel to make sure that there is no Well, I did end up with 7 pints of peaches, and I packed them in pretty good in there. Hopefully that should eliminate some of the floating, I'm hoping. There's no way of knowing. My mother used to make such beautiful quart jars of peaches, and none of them ever floated. The peaches were always perfect. I don't know how she did it. It's too bad I didn't watch a little bit closer. But what I do remember most was my poor old grandma sitting there peeling all those peaches. Must have been a bushel of them, because my mother certainly ended up with quite a pantry full of peaches, and she was so proud of the results, but they were beautiful. I've never been able to match that. So she was doing something right, obviously. None of hers floated ever, and she canned peaches year after year after year. So I'm hoping mine don't float, but if they do, it just means that there's more trapped air in there than what I thought there would be. So it's all good. It's all edible. Okay, well, I've had to pull out my pressure canning, and I'm only going to use this as a water bath canner, so there's no pressure being applied here. But the one thing you have to make sure of is that you cover all your jars with at least 1 inch of water, and I've got more than that in there. And I've also added a splash of vinegar, and that's to keep those jars looking very pretty on the outside. I don't want any calcium or mineral buildup on the outside clouding those jars. So that is the only reason I add the splash of vinegar in there. Okay, peaches are canned, water bath canned in pint jars for 20 minutes and quart jars for 25 minutes, and that is for an elevation of under 1,000 feet. So please double check your own elevation and adjust accordingly. This is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. I hope you enjoyed my canning peaches for this term, and we will catch you on the next one. Have an awesome, awesome day. Bye for now.